Alright guys, welcome to my next Transformers review. For those of you who saw the last video, this one was still in the box in the last video. It's Chromia from the Generations line. Now I'm starting her off with vehicle mode, a little bit different than I normally start with the robot mode, but so I'm going to start here in vehicle mode with her. Now, I was not really a fan of the RC mold from Prime, the second one, not the first edition, but the master release version. Wasn't a fan of that, this is a retooling of that mold. Some of the things they added is like the canopy here. They changed obviously the front end. Now one thing I am liking on this is the adjustable front tire there. Positioning, Easy Rider style, or you can get it for crotch rocket. So you just adjust it to where you want it. And you can even get it up here. So it's really flexible about its positioning. That's about the only bit of articulation you're going to get while you're in vehicle mode. It does turn sideways, so you can also turn it like that. It goes up pretty far there, so it looks can look kind of goofy here, and this peg here on the other side. And what I do with those is I take one of my feet from Combiner Wars Superion and plug that in there. Take the other one, plug it in on this side. And there, now she's got battle mode. Now, another fun little thing with these, because they adjust like that, you can flip them down like that. And then there's little pegs here, you can mount guns and have her in like kind of like a battle tank mode. Just a fun little thing I found that you could do with her. So, without further ado, we're going to get on to the showing her off with some other figures that I like to do in these videos. So, let's go ahead and leave these on there for her, because they also make it so she stands up straight. Otherwise, the kickstand she is constantly leaning over. So we're going to start with some other red, white, and blue Transformers. Because she's a red, white, and blue. So here's Animated Jazz. And with Animated Jazz, we're going to swap him out for Generations Jazz. Now these two are in the same line, so they should scale. But obviously, because she's a giant motorcycle, she doesn't scale with him. I'm going to put her with Generations Cup here. Or Prime Cup, whichever one, and then her with Tracks from the Generations line. Gonna go with good old Hot Rod. That way you can see kind of where they're at. Obviously, scale doesn't matter. So you got Warpath in her. And keeping going with the tanks, Fat Tankor. His name is Fat Tankor. That's what it says in the comics. Because there's Skinny Tankor and Fat Tankor. Alright, and then a current Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Alpha Bravo. Alright. Back there. Now the next thing I'm going to show her off with is a motorcycle. We're going good old Psykill. Her and Psykill, roughly the same size class there. So, she scales with G1 GoBots. So, there you go with her with Psykill. Gonna put her with MP Exhaust. Once again, she doesn't scale with them either, because if you think about it, these tires here, you gotta find where these tires match up to being about the size of the car tires. That's where she should be scaling, because motorcycle tire, car tire, roughly the same size class. So until her wheels are the same size as somebody, they're not scaling. Like, see, she doesn't even scale with the other Generations motorcycles, because obviously those ones are even bigger. There you go, you got Retgar riding Junk Heap. And there she is in robot mode. Now go over to the articulation on the robot mode. You do have a ball-socketed shoulder. Range of movement is hindered by kibble, but you can get a pretty good range of movement out of it nevertheless. Does have a slight bicep swivel, or a slight one, not very much. Then you have a bend at the elbow and a twist at the elbow, because the elbow is on a ball joint. So then your wrist is up on a ball joint, so you got fairly decent range of motion in the hands because it's on a ball. The neck is on a ball joint inside the neck, So as you can see, you can get a decent range of motion out of her head, but you can't really look too far back just because the back of her head hits the back of her neck, so you can't really look far back. Similar to Windblade and how her neck was hindered. Alright, legs, decent out, forward, back gets hindered by her skirt, knees, standard knees. There is a hip swivel. I would say that's a hip swivel where that's located. So as you can see, you can swivel her hip so she can dance. Set up here and we'll start showing her off with some other Transformers here. We're going to start by bringing back in Retgar. As you can see, Retgar is much bigger than her. Male motorcycle, female motorcycle. Alright. Next, keeping with the motorcycle trend, got animated Prow with his samurai armor. If he will stand. He does not like to stand for the life of me. It's really annoying to try to get to stand. He has really loose joints, like in the hips, and so you can't really get him to hold a good pose. He keeps sliding out. There we go. That's about the only pose I can get out of him. So, as you can see, animated deluxe classes were much bigger. So, as I said before, sometimes they got bigger, sometimes they got smaller, but I'll show her off with another deluxe. We got Cyclonus. I think they scale okay together. Her and other deluxes for robot mode. Got her and her friend Windblade, who also does not like to stand. Let's see if I can get her to stand. There you go. You got Chromia and Windblade. I've not opened RC yet, or else I would have her out here. Now you've got Bumblebee here. Like I said, the only Bumblebee you ever need for your collection, Masterpiece Bumblebee. You can also get it in G2 gold colors, so whichever one you want, pick them up. That's the best Bumblebee you're going to find. Her with Rumble, and this is not debatable, he is Rumble on his box. Rumble is blue. Rumble is blue. Alright, so animated Rumble. He looks good next to her. Show her off with some other bigger bots. Evasion Mode Optimus Prime KO Black Edition. As you can see, she's not Voyager class, but there you go if you wanted to see her next to a Voyager of the movies. Alright, next one is the current Voyager class, Brainstorm. As you can see, she does not scale with Brainstorm. She roughly comes up to his waist, so nowhere near in scale, but once again, he doesn't scale hardly with anybody, even his own line. Alright, and then here with Ultra Magnus from Transformers Prime. Now you can tell she scales with him because she's a remold of a Prime figure, so obviously her being a Prime figure, she scales with them. And then, just for fun, Titanium Optimal Optimus. So, let's see, one more figure to show her off with, as I always try to show off these guys with anymore, is what they look like with your Masterpiece line. Well, in robot mode, she does look a little small, but in vehicle mode, she looks a little big. It's one of the hard things about some Transformers because of the mass shifting. But I think in robot mode, she does look a little compared to the Masterpiece guys. So a little bit bigger robot, she could scale with Masterpiece, but her motorcycle mode wouldn't scale with them. One of the points I wanted to make on this video here is about Windblade. Doesn't like to stand, hard to get to stand, very loose pieces. Okay Transformer, not the greatest, just okay. This one, like I said, I wasn't sure about the RC mold going into this one, but after getting this figure, I do like her leaps and bounds better than the RC mold or the Windblade mode. Her vehicle mode is just fun to roll around and mess with that front tire on, and give her those, like I said, those attachments on the side and see what sort of weird things you can attach to her. Because you could even go and take these big guns and attach those to the side on her, you know. So you can have some fun with what you could peg into those holes. They're positioned right. You could even pop some wings in those and make her a flying motorcycle if you want. Those holes, I've seen some wings that had pegs that would fit in there. So like I said, I just wanted to mention that part, that this mold here I really do enjoy, whereas this one here is kind of a pain. So once again, this has been Transformer Travis saying like, comment, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and see you later. All right, bye.